Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that song put together for this demo. This is probably my favorite part of doing the demos is doing those songs. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I've got the track pulled up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go through what I did for the track and show all the individual things I did from the Archetype Rabea plugin for it. Because that's all I use for a lot of synth stuff and then all the guitar stuff. And then afterwards, I'll go through and run through some of my other favorite patches that I found doing this, and just kind of show off what the plugin's all about. Because this is one of the coolest plugins that I've seen from Neural, and it's just amazing that every time they can churn out something that'd be different. Whether it be with the last one with the Versatility pulling out that piezo kind of deal with the amp on there, which is really cool. And then with this one, the synth thing, which that's honestly is mostly over my head. I've been very rooted in guitar, and I'm not too much. I'm into like the pads and like background stuff, not too much single note stuff. But anyway, enough of my yammering. Let's look at the demo. So for this intro bit here, solo this out and listen to it. For that, I'm using the Airy guitar pad with the doubler on. I don't know if it has a doubler on by default, but it's just got such a nice ethereal, floaty sound to it, and it's really cool. They've got this amp here, which does some really cool stuff. This reverb and delay are just awesome, and that's kind of where it is. And there's also a freeze function on it, which is really cool. So it just kind of keeps going in the background. So you can kind of almost create it's almost like a synth pad in the background. So really, really cool stuff. I love that patch. Moving on to kind of the rhythm guitar part. And actually for everything on this, I didn't double track anything. I use the doubler function, which I think was first introduced with the Petrucci plugin. The doubler, it really just kind of thickens up everything because it adds that delay, so it almost is like like double tracking. Obviously, an actual double track, it gets a more human performance. It's going to be better when tracking stuff like this. But if you're using these Archetype plugins in a live performance setting, that doubler thing is really, really crucial. If let's say you're a 3-piece, it's just vocals, guitar, bass, and then drums, and you really want to thicken up your sound, and you're just one guitar player. Great way to do it. So going into the rhythm thing here for this 8-string, just really, really meaty tone. This is Metal Rhythm, and I believe this one is from Nolly right here. And then I just turned the doubler on for it. Nolly's got some great stuff. I have the Archetype Nolly plugin, which is a really, really fun plugin. He knows how to get stuff dialed in for tracking. So it sits really well in the mix, and honestly, you can't go wrong with any of these presets. So if you're looking for stuff that sits well in the mix and you have this plugin, I think the Nolly presets are going to be the way to go. Obviously, there's loads and loads of presets they've got that you can kind of go off of, but those are some ones that I really was keen on. And then the Metal Rhythm one was just kind of the one that fit best for the kind of really low tuned 8-string stuff. And then getting into, I had to incorporate the synth in some way. So I got what he's called the cloudy lead synth which was really cool. There was something about it that I really liked, but it was missing something, so I added in a tremolo. And that's the nice thing, is like you can use the stuff from this plugin, but then also add on, I just did with other plugins, but you could add in, if you set it up right with your interface, additional pedals, or if you've got something like a Quad Cortex or a Kemper, you can add in patches from there. So there's a lot of stuff, and you could even add in other Archetype plugins. And the nice thing is when you double click on these things, you can just turn them off. So if you want to, you could just like turn off the amp for this and use a Nolly amp with the synth thing, which is really, really cool. But here's what the patch sounds like without the tremolo. Cool, but then you add in this, and then the context of the whole mix. It sits really well, and it kind of, since this is an instrumental track for the purposes of this demo, it, kind of adds that melodic tendency that you look for in a song, and it, gives it a nice color to it. And I think for this one, just to just add some tape saturation, I added this plugin in as well. And then for this bridge section, I, added in this other synth part. That's the Hollow Synth plugin or preset, which I don't know where that one came from, to be honest. Might be from Rabea, I just can't see. But anyway, Hollow Synth, yeah, it's right here. Really, really, really cool preset. Just kind of, it gives that haunting, again, very airy. That's the nice thing with this this Archetype that I think will kind of set it apart from a lot of the other plugins, is that it kind of, you can get these really spacey, ethereal, sounds, and that's, really, something that's going on a lot in the progressive rock and metal thing, this kind of more shoegazy thing. I mean, obviously you can do that with a lot of the other plugins as well, but this one, I feel like that's what its kind of specialty and attention was set towards. And Rabea is, one of the best. You go look at some of the stuff that he's written for his demos on his channel. I mean, it's just astounding. And then the last thing that I used for the amps, so we got 5 different amps on this one, is this kind of long, and I think this is another Nolly preset. Yeah, long in the tooth that I used for the lead to kind of give it something. I like this one more because it left behind some of the reverb and stuff, kind of gave it a more dry sound. So that's what this sounds like. Again, it's those things that it sounds good, and then I also added some EQ. I forgot to mention that, just kind of boosting the high end, cutting the lows. Again, sits really well in the mix. Right there, it sounded kind of awful, but you throw it in the mix, it sounds great. So yeah, and then additionally from there, I've got bass stuff that I've got like a preset that I use on my Quad Cortex, and then just some synth pads. I gotta add those into my stuff. It's a necessity. And then drums, modern and massive GGG. So that's the whole track from the demo, and I was really, really happy with how it turned out and how all these sounds. Like I said, I mean, there's just so much stuff, and the fact with these plugins is like, and one of the nice things like you can do with them versus like if you have like a real amp, and I mean they get expensive, so it's like you're kind of locked into a limited amount of sounds. And then if you only have money for one amp, and then whatever you can get with pedals, whereas this you can get different amps, different tones, for a really, really great price. So I want to check out some other things with the synth and the some of the Strat patches that Rabea has, because that's another thing that he really focuses in on his tones. So I'm going to switch over to that and check those out. All right, so the first tone we're checking out is what he calls Strat in a Room Vibin'. It's kind of like a spanky neck pickup, just like your quintessential Strat tone. Like when you think of what a Strat is, this is the tone you're gonna get. I'm using PRS Silver Size, so I know some people are gonna be like, "It's not a Strat." Come on. All right, here we go. It doesn't get any better than that. That is pure, unadulterated, just filth. Love it. Let's check out some more tones. All right, so this one we're getting into a little more high gain, modern high gain Strat. I mean, this is kind of it's like you might even have the fuzz on this one. Not quite, but it's overdrive paired with, this, which might as well just be fuzz. But let's take a listen. Great for like some of those like really just spanky leads you want to get in, but also great for some rhythm as well. I mean, these I honestly I think this is going to be one of the underrated gems of this plugin, is that you can get some great Strat blues tones out of it that you wouldn't expect from maybe a neural DSP plugin, or especially a Rabea one being a metal guy. So there's more though. So let's check them out. This is the fuzz one. And this has got a great fuzz put on. I didn't use it in the demo or whatever, because I'm not a big fuzz guy. It's never something that I've used in my stuff or really gotten into like dialing. It's like, okay, this is what I want. But it's an interesting combo. Rabea's got the kind of that low gain amp, but he's pairing it with the kind of high gain cab, if you want to call it that. But anyway, let's listen to the tone. It's great fuzz tone. Like I said, it's not personally for me, but I know there's a lot of people who will be all over that. Somebody who does get great fuzz tone is Rabea. So I think is no better person to have come out with a plugin and have stuff like this in it. This has got to be one of my favorite tones. This isn't labeled as like a Strat tone, but it's one I didn't get to incorporate in to the song at the beginning, so show it off here. But I mean, it's great. It's kind of pairs high gain kind of stuff with more spacey reverbiness. So anyway, let's check it out. What a great tone. I mean, and one of the things that even was just right then there as I was playing that was kind of astounding me is just how expressive these plugins can be. I mean, you can hear in what I'm playing, it really responds well to like touch and level of play. Like I can dig in. Or I can play light. And it responds incredibly well. It's not like it's very sterile or one thing. It also responds. It dirties up as you turn the volume up. It's like a real amp. And that's one of the things that, just blows me away. And I think what kind of sets Neural apart from the pack is how closely they dial this stuff in to sounding like a real amp and getting the real responsiveness out of it. Very, very cool stuff. Got some synth stuff to check out, so let's check it out. All right, so this kind of gets into the, for me at least, the more goofy territory, just because I don't know how to use it. But I'm sure for some people this is going to be a killer feature that people are going to love. My favorite thing about this is like in some of these patches is he uses the arpeggiator as like a augmentation of the reverb, which I think is really cool to kind of have like a trail like that in the background, kind of blending it with the guitar tone. But this is more just straight up synth. You gotta tell there, I'm not fully versed in it, but it's like, it is very responsive and finicky to touch, so you have to be like very precise with what you're playing with this. So definitely takes some getting used to, and I've only had this thing for a week, so I haven't had much, I still haven't gotten accustomed to it and haven't learned it, but I mean, it is such a just killer tool that I think a lot of people are gonna love. And then you've got some more kind of weirder things. You can get kind of goofy with it. I mean, they've got this next batch is pretty funny. I mean, this just goes to show you can get kind of goofy with these. It gets funny, and then with the tracking, with the arpeggiator, you can get into some. It even responds really well to bends. At some point you can kind of. I mean, there's just tons of fun to be had with this, even if it isn't, some like songwriting great application that you can find, which I think there are some. You could just have loads of fun just sitting in front of your computer playing around with your guitar all day, coming up with the Stranger Things theme song. So I don't know, this is a really fun plugin. I have had a lot of fun, and haven't just used it for this video or for the demo and the intro. I mean, there's been other tracks that I've used it on, and it's been fantastic, and I can't wait to dive into it more. If you guys would like to dive into it more and try it out, there will be a link to the free trial in the description of this video, as well as the pinned comment. So whichever you prefer, you can go to. Really great stuff. And I'm excited to see what other people are putting out with this thing, because I mean this synth thing is probably one of the cooler things that I've seen come from Neural. I mean, it's along the lines with the vocoder that they had on that Tim Henson plugin, but really really cool stuff. Neural DSP, as always, as absolutely killing the game with, all their plugins and hardware and stuff. It's great stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support and everything you guys have been showing me as of late. Much love, and I'll catch you on the next one.